Hey guys, how's it going? Today I'm going to be going over a windshield wiper system and the washer pump. Today we're going to be going over volts and ohms. So we're going to be checking the ohms resistance on your pumps and everything like that. And I'm going to be checking for source voltage at your connections and everything like that. So here I got the diagram. So here I got the relays and stuff for your windshield wipers. And then up here I got the switch inside the cabin, and up here's my fuse box and everything like that under the hood. So what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be checking the connections and all that, making sure I'm getting all my power that I need. All right. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and switch to the hood, and I'll get this test started. Now that we're towards the hood and everything, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be checking the resistance on my motor first. Okay, what I'm going to be checking across is the black and blue wire. If you guys check back to the diagram, you'll know what I'm talking about here. So I'm just going to be using a DVOM and making sure it's on ohms. Okay, just remember you don't want to check resistance on a live circuit, which this isn't going to be live because it's disconnected, right? So what I'll do is I already know where my prongs are at that I need to check. So what I'm checking is my my ground and my power side. So get them in here, check the resistance. I like to give it, a couple seconds, let it die down a little bit, so you get all that residual out. So what I'm looking for is I'm looking for anything below 5. If I get a resistance below 5, that's a good reading. What I don't want to see is I don't want to see 0 or OL. OL is out of limits. So right now I'm reading 3.3, 3.4, so that's a good reading. So as of right now, my motor's good. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to check the volts on my intermittent, my low speed, and my high speed on my windshield wipers. Okay, so make sure you switch your voltmeter to volts. Okay, you could check resistance, make sure you're getting a good ground, right? So now what I'll do, go and find yourself a good ground. Check it here. On the blue side, make sure you're picking the right wire. Okay, go ahead and switch it to intermittent real quick. Okay, as of right now, I'm reading 16.3 volts. Now, the reason I'm reading so high is because I got a battery charger hooked up. Our battery was dying out because we've been testing it all night. So that's a great reading. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and check my low speed. Can you switch to low speed? Alright, now the low speed and the intermittent are the same wire. So I should be reading around the same volts. So I'm still reading 16.33 now. Okay, so that's another good reading. So I know I'm getting power to my intermittent and low speed. Now what I'm doing is I'm going to check my high side, which is my yellow wire. Alright, so put it in here. Can you turn it to high? Alright, I'm reading 16.33 as well. So I'm also getting power to my high side. So now that I know that I'm getting power to my windshield wiper motor, and I'm getting power through my connector, I'm knowing that everything in this area is good, right? So I can connect it here. I don't know if you guys can see it in the video, but it's actually moving, right? So that's another way of telling that it's working, right? Can you switch it to low? Okay, there you see it slow down, so that's good to go. You turn it off. Okay, now another thing you guys want to check is the fuse box, right? Now usually you'd be able to check across the fuse, which is usually pretty simple. But the problem is with this type of vehicle, there's it's kind of like a fuse box line. It's like a pack, if you say something. So this right here is your fuse pack, right? So it shows it in this as well. It says number 3, which is this whole fuse pack right here. So in all, I'm not able to test this system, right? I could if I pull it out, but that's a whole different process. So now that I know that I'm getting power to all this works, my fuses work, my relays work. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and move on and show you guys windshield wiper, the reservoir pump down there for your washer fluid. Okay guys, now that we're down here at the windshield washer pump, alright, what I'm going to be doing first, I'm going to be checking the resistance on the motor. Kind of like the same thing we did with the windshield wiper motor. I've already got my voltmeter on ohms, so what I'm doing is I'm just going to touch these two prongs in here, right? And give it a second. The same thing goes for this pump as well. With the readings and everything like that, I'm getting 2.3, 2.4. Good reading, right? Below 5, not OL, not 0. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch my voltmeter to volts. And I'm going to test across my connector, make sure I'm getting source voltage down here, right? So I got my green wire, which is my power. My black wire is my ground. Hey, can you go ahead and pull the washer pump? I forgot to mention that. To check this, you have to actually have somebody pull the lever inside to get the voltage. Right now I'm reading 16.1, 16.12, which is a good reading. All right. If you guys need to see the diagram, go ahead and go back to the beginning of the video and look at the diagram itself. But that's how you check your windshield wiper reservoir pump, and make sure you're getting source voltage down here. All right. Thank you. Hey guys, how's it going? So another step to checking your windshield wipers and stuff like that is making sure your switch works. The way we're going to do that is I'm going to be checking continuity across it, which is pretty much ohms. I couldn't get the sound to work earlier, but let's see if I can get it to work. So what I'm going to be checking is I'm going to be checking the low and high sides. All you got to do is look at your wire diagram. I don't know if you guys can see. I have it here. I have a setup here for a steering wheel. It's out of a different vehicle, but pretty much the same steps. Get your wiring diagram and everything, and make sure you're checking to the right areas. So what you'll be doing is you'll be putting it in the setting that you want to check. Okay. So I'll go and check the low side first. All right. Sorry about this. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and switch it back to ohms. The continuity is not working. So I'll go and test my points here. So I'm checking for resistance right now. I'm getting 0.6. That's a good reading. What you're looking for is you don't want 0 or OL. You want to be able to get a reading off of it. Now what we'll do is we'll check the high side. I'm getting about 0.5. Keeps jumping between 0.5 and 0.6. So both got good readings, which means the resistance across the bit's working. So that's pretty much it. The step for checking your switch here. We can't check for power going into the wires exactly because it's not hooked up to power. So, but you can check power going into the wires here, do volts and stuff like that, making sure you're getting source voltage to your wire connectors and everything like that. So, well, next step we'll be testing the rear defogger window, and we'll move on to that. Hey guys, now that we're back, we're going to be doing the defroster back window here. This one's pretty easy to get to, so I'm doing this one. A couple things that we're missing for this video is some foil, right? When you go across these lines, it'd be easier to use foil so you're not scratching up the window or anything like that. But what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be checking the voltage across these, right? And then I'm going to be checking the voltage on each line, okay? Let's get started. So our voltage across these 2 points is going to be your source voltage. So I'm getting 11 volts, which is pretty good. Battery might be a little low. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick one of these points, right? Pick this point over here. I'm going to go across each line. This one's reading about 2.8 volts. This one's reading 0.4 millivolts. 1.3 volts. 126 millivolts. 1.5 volts. 1.7 volts. 1.8 volts. Look at the floor under there. 0.3 volts. 1.9 volts. 2.1 volts. And then 2.2 volts. So earlier I was actually getting source voltage on these. So if you're not getting, the source voltage on these lines, you could have a short in the line somewhere, which they do make repair kits. And that's when you would go all the way down the line to see where your short's at. So let's pick one of these lines here. Which move, if I get this thing to stay. Alright. So I'll do is go down one of these lines here. I'll pick this first one. I'm going to kind of do it periodically. Since I don't have the foil, I don't want to scratch up the window or anything. See, as I keep going down here, my volts keep getting higher. Actually, sorry, I forgot to explain. So, actually, as you go down these lines here, your volts are going to go down because there's resistance in these, okay? So as I went this way, the volts went up, which is a good reading, okay? Now you do that on every one of them, okay? But that's where you want the foil, so you can slide it down the line. Okay, that way you don't scratch up the window or anything like that. But that's how you check this, guys. Appreciate watching. Thank you.